Meanwhile, the United States has said that an agreement on the Iranian nuclear deal is possible within days if Iran were to show some seriousness over the matter. The United States also added that the substantial amount of progress has been made as a part of the negotiations that are being held in Vienna. A State Department spokesperson has told AFP, and I quote, "Substantial progress has been made in the last week if Iran shows some seriousness that we can and should reach an understanding on a mutual return to the full implementation of JCPOA within a span of few days. Anything much beyond that will possibly put the possibility of the return to the deal at grave risk." Remember, it is the Americans in 2018 who violated the deal and walked out of it unilaterally. The Vienna talks directly involve Iran, Britain, China, France, Germany and Russia. And what is interesting is that the United States is taking part in these talks indirectly through its European mediators. The high-stakes talks resumed in late November last year with the aim of restoring the 2015 nuclear deal. The accord had, of course, offered Tehran some relief from crippling American sanctions in exchange for certain curbs on its nuclear program. But in 2018, when Donald Trump was the President of the United States of America, he had described the Iranian nuclear deal that was negotiated by the former President Barack Obama as the worst negotiated deal in American history and decided to unilaterally walk out of the deal. The United States also imposed crippling economic sanctions, and this, of course, triggered Iran to begin to withdraw from its commitments of the deal. Now, Iranians have been insisting that every time there is a change of guard at the White House, Americans cannot be changing their foreign policies and flouting the agreements that they have signed with other nations. Now, experts believe that Iran is just a few weeks away from having enough fissile material to build potentially a nuclear weapon. But the Iranians insist that their nuclear program is meant only for peaceful purposes and only to generate electricity. Now, at this point of time, according to experts, it would take several more complicated steps to actually create a nuclear bomb, but they could create some kind of a low-intensity nuclear weapon. The American President, Joe Biden, has said that he is willing to return to the deal and also ease some of the sanctions if Iran were to follow the commitments under the agreement. On Wednesday, France warned Iran that time is running out to accept a new deal. The foreign minister pointed out that it was a question of days and that a major crisis could be unleashed if there is no agreement before that. Earlier, Iran's top negotiator Ali Bagheri had said that the leaders are closer than ever before to a possible agreement, provided the West sees some reason and is serious in its negotiations. However, he's also called on the other parties, that is the Europeans and the Americans who are negotiating indirectly, to be realistic and to make some serious decisions that they will stick to. International diplomats are in their 8th round of talks with Iran. Negotiators had hoped to reach a deal by now, but a number of issues are still to be addressed. Meanwhile, on Friday, oil prices have come down a little bit off the boil. And this comes after prospects of extra supply from Iran returning to the market have outweighed the fears of a possible Russian invasion of Ukraine. Brent crude has fallen by almost about 68 cents, while the West Texas Intermediate crude futures has shed 67 cents. Analysts do not expect the prices to fall much in the near term, this even with the prospect of a return of more Iranian oil into the international markets. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.